Hello everyone, my name is Archana. Today I am present 102 paper number literature of neoclassical age in Jonathan Swift as a satirist. This is my intro. Jonathan Swift was born in Dublin, Ireland in 13 November 1667. He was whenever he was born, his father was died also, and he was son of an English lawyer. He grew up there in the care of his uncle before attending Trinity College at the age of 14, where he stayed for 7 years, graduation in 1688. In that year, he became the secretary for Sir William Temple, an English politician and member of the Whig Party. In 1694, he took religious order in the Church of Ireland and then spent a year as a country person. He then spent further time in the service of Temple before returning to Ireland to become the chaplain of the Earl of Berkeley. Meanwhile, he had begun to write satire on the political and religious corruption surrounding him, working on a tale of Tub as a, as a is a religion satire, which supports the position of the Anglican Church against its critique on the left and the right, and the Battle of the Books, which argues for the supremacy of the classics against modern thought and literature. Although Swift's disgust with the sad state of the nation continued to increase, a modest proposal was the last of his essays about Ireland. Swift wrote mostly poetry in the latter years of his life and he died in 1745. What is satire? Satire means it is an artistic form, chiefly literary and dramatic, in which human or individual vices, foolish abuses, or shortcomings are held up to censure by means of ridicule, derision, burlesque, irony, parody, caricature, or other methods, sometimes with an intent to inspire social reform. And another definition of satire in literary works, satire can be direct or indirect. With direct satire, the narrator speaks directly to the reader, and with indirect satire, the author's intent is realized within the narrator's and its story. The concept of satire has been notoriously difficult to define, with some scholarly consensus even going so far as to conclude that defining satire is impossible. And another definition of satire is, however, agreement on a number of non-essential features of satire such as irony, humor, parody, caricature, and criticism with intent to persuade or inspire social reform. Jonathan Swift's works as a satire, like A Tale of Tub, a modest Proposal, and Gulliver's Travel. In Tale of Tub satire, he wrote critical social issues using literary strategies like sarcasm, hyperbole, humor, extended analogies, and symbolism. Sarcasm means communicates contempt for the subject at hand. As a result, readers must often reserve the author's word to determine meaning. A tale of Tub. The narrator expressed great admiration for the brothers' ingenuity in getting around their father's wishes. This admiration is inserts, however, and hyperbole. Hyperbole radically exaggerates existing situation to show innate ridiculousness or weakness. The narrator uses hyperbole throughout his tale, describing preachers so fiery that they can light their own way home at night and so full of wind that they puff up like balloons. Humor criticizes society to stimulate thought and action. The narrator's caricatures of Peter and Jack are broadly comical, and the effect is heightened by the character's self righteousness. Peter proclaims himself superior and does not realize that most people are mocking his title and respecting it. Jack's belligerent preaching and disheveled appearance lead listeners to think he has gone mad, and extended analogies indirectly draw attention to flawed situations. The narrator uses this technique when he links the Bible to the will of a father who knows that what is the best for his children, who is overruled or ignored by his selfish hair. Symbolism indirectly represents social, religious, and political issues. This strategy allows satirists to protect themselves with indirection from backlash, especially if they are criticizing powerful instruction. It may also make their critiques more universal. The narrator uses the overarching symbol of a set of chords to describe Christianity and show the many alterations it is undergone. And another satire is a modest proposal. In this satire, he put like political satire and economical satire. This satire was meant to ridicule the heartless attitude concerning the poor individuals in the society and the general politics the British have imposed on the Irish people. Given that there were so many beggars in Ireland during the periods, including women with their young children, this proposal was shedding light on the aspect of poverty. Shift expressed children as being a burden to their parents and the nation at large, yet they could be more beneficial to the public. Traditionally, this proposal was viewed as the cry of people of Ireland to the government due to its failure to address the economic crisis of the nation. Recently, it is explained that it was intended to intercede in the 1729 debate in the session of the Irish Parliament. In either of the scenario, the determination of Swift in addressing the condition of the people of Ireland is evident. And the another satire was Gulliver's Travels, and this is satire as a situational satire. The title of the book was originally called Travels into Several Remote Nations of the World, and it was a satire written into four sections. It involves a combination of adventure and brutal satire throughout its writings, which mock the customs of the English people and matters of politics of that time. It is written in the first persona, where it reflects the traveling experience of Gulliver. Shift present the real problems faced by societies, but in a satirical manner. Because when he born, his father was dead. So he, uh, he, so he, in his life, he, uh, in his life very problems are in life, and he faced by societies, and then he started satirical manner. The society is usually comprised of different culture. If the people cannot learn to stay together and appreciate their differences, then it brings about misunderstandings. Swift aims at helping human beings understand that happiness is what matters in society, and knowledge is a key consideration of maintaining a well-ordinate life. When society developed its understanding, it makes it is easier to accept who they are, resulting in happiness. Seeking knowledge past the understanding of humans result in disagreements, and at no point should an individual develop pride in knowing more than others. Jonathan Swift uses a satire to bring light to the major issues that the society faced during his period. All his work expressed an important aspect that needed to be resolved. Swift is torn between whether physical power and moral superiority as a tool to govern society. He also expresses the need for society as it helps prevent one from loneliness. Despite the challenging situation, Swift did not stop to expose the evil in society and to fight for the well-being of the Irish people. It is therefore clear that Jonathan Swift, as a satirist, played an important role in Ireland through his various writings. This is my work cited, and now you will ask me questions. Which type of facility is there in Mm, in Tale of Tub, I in Tale of Tub uh, there is religious satire. In Tale of Tub, uh, like religious satire, and another modest proposal like political and economical satire, and Gulliver's Travel like as a satire, situational satire. Thank you.